Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the Crow's Nest. Welcome if you are new. We are a spiritual olive mind community learning as we grow along our ascension journey. This is going to be a message for what it is that we need to be aware of and focusing on. These messages are collective, so they might not resonate with everyone, but they are timeless, so if it finds you and it resonates with you at that time, then it was meant for you. We're going to go over a few things before we dive into the tarot with confirmation on what I had to come through for this message, as well as some guidance for us all based on that. Looking at the vibration for today in regards to numerology, today is all about fours. Just through my pen as well is really interesting. Mic drop. I just heard mic drop. I'm going to write that down for a second. Yeah, I really feel that actually in regards to today's message. So with number 4, I'm feeling, there has been strong messages coming through in my readings about being very focused on our wealth, our abundance, financial stability. So this could be speaking in regards to that for you today, but also 4 is all about groundedness. And there has been messages to come through about the need for grounding and healing today. Some other numbers that are very significant for today are 2, 6, we said 4, and 23. But 23 specifically, you might be seeing a lot of today. So that might be a confirmation as well. So right away, I just got straight to shuffling. Sometimes I get things to come through before I even touch the cards. But today, I just went into the cards. And I don't know if you can hear that. There's just like some noises around me. And they sound like very like musical. So that might be a message for someone. Maybe the need to like listen to some music. I just heard mindset. So I was shuffling the Finding Inner Peace deck, and there was a message to come through about believing in new beginnings, and I actually got a lot from that message. It was number 26 in the deck. So 8, speaking about, like I was saying, in regards to those 4s working on your abundance, right? So with number 26, believing in new beginnings, I was feeling there was also a message about stop overthinking. So I was really feeling a strong message about balance, and that you're going through a sense of like a transition or a change, and that you are going through a process of releasing baggage. And then there was that guidance for grounding and connecting with water for healing, and a message about you kind of riding out into the sunset. And what I got from that is there was a card that came through and it kind of gave me like the 6 of Swords energy. And what I'm really seeing from this is there's a sense of you finding harmony in regards to the situation, and it has brought you into a place of balance within yourself that is allowing you to just kind of, like that 6 of Swords energy, just kind of taking what you need, leaving the rest, leaving the baggage behind, taking the resources with you, sailing off into the sunset, riding off into the sunset, and pursuing those new beginnings. And like a bright, abundant future, right? And there was also a message to come through with card number 3. And which deck was that? And it was change is good. And this was all about the strength to break bad habits. So I think that was the Finding Inner Peace as well. So 3s as well are significant today. I didn't mention that. The next thing that happened was we had a message come through about with the Earth Warriors, Abuela Medicina, about the remedy of the grandmothers. And so what I really get from this is just so much healing energy coming into you right now in regards to this situation. And then there was also a message about a quest for a new vision and time for ceremony. So time for ceremony as in like getting, okay, so this quest for a new vision is all about, like I said, that harmony and that balance in regards to how you're able to view the situation, leaving the baggage behind, taking the resources with you, right? And this time for ceremony, it's a message about finding mindfulness and again, that message about healing. And I also had something coming through again, really significant about those 3 guides who are not only with you, but they're calling in more activation for you. So what I actually saw was, you know, going back to my message that I did where I was talking about like the flowers in the attic message, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing you as a child, blooming, blossoming as a flower. Interesting. That connects to what I just posted on TikTok. So this might connect to that. Um, so you're blossoming, and one of your guides is seeing this and is kind of protecting you, but also calling in further support. And then what I'm seeing after that is more guides coming in and sending you light codes, light energy, light language, helping to further activate you, helping to awaken you. And this is helping to really, really ground you and really fertilize, like, um, fertilize some seeds that you have. Like, you have these thoughts and ideas, these visions that you want to bring to fruition. And I think, was that in regards to yesterday's message? I think we talked a lot about that. But moving on, there is this sense of you have these seeds that you've been, right, we were talking about harvesting yesterday. And so there are more seeds that are needing to be planted. And it's like this backup that's coming in from your guides right now to bring in further activations and support is going to help to plant and fertilize these seeds. I just heard to germinate them as well. It's like I'm even feeling an acceleration on this. Like the seeds are going to get planted, they're going to get nourished, and they're going to sprout so much quicker than what you're anticipating, what they possibly could. The next thing that I saw was the King of Swords to come through with the Three of Wands and the High Priestess. So again, in that message about like your financial wealth and abundance, fertilizing these seeds, you know, the King of Swords is all about, you know, someone with a vision, a strong leader, an entrepreneur. The Three of Swords is all about preparation and foresight, building your enterprise and expanding your enterprise, expanding your kingdom, everything you've been building. And what card was it again? Going back to those ships of abundance. What card was that I kept seeing where it's like those ships were coming in? I'm seeing that again. And with the High Priestess, this is all about like speaking about your intuition, and I'm getting strong feminine vibes from this as well. So this, in order for these seeds to be, you know, to come to fruition, that's, you know, the place of creation is the feminine energy. So there is a need for guidance to, and I think that came through yesterday as well, about getting a little bit back into the feminine, leaning a little bit too much into the masculine. And, but also a message about how this is all coming in because you have been able to, for many of you, it's a message about how you have been doing this grounding and this healing and working on clearing away the patterns that have been preventing you from being able to ride off into the sunset in the past. And, you know, change is good. This is all about you embracing change and now having the strength and welcoming breaking those patterns and those cycles for you. I'm really, really feeling this is connected to that message I just put on TikTok. So my TikTok, all my links are in the description for you if you want to check that message. But let's go ahead and get the confirmation from the tarot, and we'll get a little bit of guidance. And on the deck today, I have the Larvakite. So speaking all about inner visions, like intuition, higher knowledge, strong High Priestess, strong divine feminine energy today. And I'm just like really drawn to this like 2 and 3 that I have next to each other. 23 is so strong today. So let's go ahead and get the message. If you're new here, my name's Crystaljoy, wounded healer, spiritual coach. Let's have a look here. So the 2 of Swords. So right away, we're getting that confirmation on that balance. For some of you, it's needing to find balance. For some of you, it's a confirmation about the balance that you've been working on finding and making choices. This is, you know, connecting to a message I did recently about, you know, the cycles that need to be broken. It was a matter of needing to make the choice to actually put in the work to break those cycles. There was messages about just a sense of avoidance from having to go through that process. But for many of you, this is a confirmation about you are going through that process. You are finding that balance. What I'm getting from this right now, usually with the Two of Swords, it's almost like I feel as though someone is just like blindfolded from being able to see the right decision to be made. But what I'm really getting from this right now is just like, you are so firm in the decisions that you make and your boundaries, once again, that it's just kind of like you're sitting there with a blindfold on and two swords, and it's just like, who's gonna mess with someone who's willing to play with two swords with a blindfold on? Just like really strong protective vibes. Like you're so sure of your ability to work with what you've got, is what I'm getting. So let's get a little bit more. Cards are kind of jumpy. So the Page of Cups. So once again, speaking about intuition and knowledge and foresight and things coming up on your path that are making you question things. They seem very curious, but you're also pursuing them with, I'm getting that Hanged Man vibe again. This like looking at things from a different perspective than you would have normally. And that really, really does tie into yesterday's message, because we were talking about a message about using some of the things that people were saying to your benefit to support your expansion and your growth. And so it's like I see you doing that now, where you're able to take things that once would have seemed like something so far from what you would have wanted or needed at the time, and you're actually able to look at it and see, well, how can I actually use this to my benefit? And the Four of Wands in the reverse. So there's a sense of like, that balance for sure. This is like a sense of coming into a place of like inner harmony, inner peace. I think we'll definitely get an inner peace affirmation on this, which is interesting because I keep getting drawn to that message I just put on TikTok. And we also ended with a finding inner peace affirmation. So a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more guidance on this situation. A lot of confirmations coming through about, yes, there it is. A lot of confirmations coming through about how you've grown through this situation, through the messages in the last few days. If you're new here, my messages tend to be a continuation from the day before, although they are timeless. So with the Five of Cups, it's like, this is a message about, I think this came through as well in a couple of my other readings, being able to just, again, how do I say this? About going and taking the resources with you and leaving the things that you no longer need behind you. Once upon a time, those things that you never needed, right? Those things that, you know, those patterns that you should have broken yourself from in the past, they were hard for you to break from because you saw value, you saw potential in those things. Going back to my other messages, it was about relationships, right? So it was hard for you to cut those ties because this was people in your life who you loved and valued and you had a lot of care and love and respect for. And so it was, again, very painful for you to have to turn your back to those things that were not meant for you. And now this is a message about how you are able to it's like saying a final goodbye, like taking one last look at those things. It's like this is that message about healing. I was feeling such strong healing energy from this, and it's like that message about, you know, when we're fully healing a situation, you know, we talk about, you know, releasing the situation, but we have to, you know, fully look at a situation and be able to understand why it caused us pain, and, you know, find the ways, you know, coping mechanisms. There are many, many levels to healing from something, but we have to, in order to fully heal from something, we have to be able to face that thing and look at it and hold space for it and find compassion and forgiveness before we release it, or we haven't fully released it. All we're doing is just pushing it out of our mind. And so this is like you taking that one last look at the things that you're needing to let go of and that you are letting go of right now, taking that last look and saying that final last, you know, giving gratitude for the things that have helped you to grow, like to this point in your journey, and saying, you know, thank you, I love you, you've done your job, but it's time for you to go. And it's just like, that's that final goodbye before you turn around and focus on these cups where your energy is requiring your focus. And what I get from these two cups is I see the two cups from the Lover's card. We also have the Star card here with the Ace of Pentacles. The High Priestess came out. Yo, it's here. And the Wheel of Fortune, going back to the TikTok messages. So the message I posted on TikTok today was a continuation from the one I posted on TikTok yesterday. So you might want to see that also. But with the Star card here, this is all about you having hope, right? You're saying that final goodbye because you're ready to turn around and focus on the things that give you hope and inspiration, right? Inspiration. Like there's so many opportunities coming in for you. We even saw the Ace of Wands yesterday. So like aces are really powerful. This is about tying back into this message about your ability to it's just, this is another thing that I said in another reading about your ability to take something and just turn it into something so much more than anyone could have ever imagined that thing be turned into. And it's kind of like that. There are grand ideas coming in for you, and it's just like this High Priestess. In the past, you've been feeling very blocked from your intuition, but with all this healing that you've been doing, there's like that renewed hope, that renewed inspiration. I feel like for a little while, you maybe even felt disconnected from your path, like fully, like you were on the journey, but now you feel like you're just like really back online. Another message that I posted, and just really, really taking what's being handed to you. And I just heard Ace of Spades. I don't know what that means. Is that a song? 1 second. Okay, so the Ace of Spades actually is a song by Motorhead. I've never even heard that song, but I just like started hearing Ace of Spades, Ace of Spades. So you might want to look at that song. Maybe there's a message for you there, or maybe you know that song, so it's confirmation for you. But that was just a really strong message, that Ace of Spades that came through. And then again, just finishing off with the tarot here, the Wheel of Fortune is all about those karmic cycles. You are closing out this chapter, saying that final goodbye, that last moment of accepting the things that have harmed you, to fully heal them, to fully release them, so that you can like fully set off. I'm hearing blast off again, like that rocket shooting up to the stars, right? Like you're literally not even just the Star card. It's just like you are going above and beyond this. And my throat like closed up for a second there. And it's just like you're shooting up into the stars, like above and beyond. And the water energy here, and I did mention that I was feeling like water and healing energy. So let's get affirmation from the Finding Inner Peace deck to close out this message. So on this deck, I also have the red jasper stone. It's not one that I've used in a little while. And very grounding stone. So again, that message about grounding and healing. And there was water energy to come through earlier in this reading with the Believing in New Beginnings, that card number 26 that I started this message with. That gave me that Six of Swords energy. That is water energy. The cards are very similar. So a boat in water setting off on a journey. So yes, anyway, we'll move on. I'm just really feeling There was something else I was going to say there, but let's move on. Okay, let's get our affirmation for some additional guidance for us to close out this message, please. Oh, okay. Oh, that was fancy. Fancy. And it's a very beautiful card as well. Honoring my inner light. This is card number 14. So like I said, 4s are very significant today. 1s are all about new beginnings. I'm really feeling those new beginnings for you. Oh my goodness. You got a lot of good things coming to you. So this message, this affirmation is, the times when I let my brightness dim are over. I finally honor my inner light. And I hope you saw the way that card just like flipped out of the bottom of the deck. It was just really, really fancy. And that's what I feel like, the way that these opportunities are going to be coming up for you in your path are just going to feel very like, oh, where'd that come from? What is that? So I hope this message finds who it was meant for, and that that apparently I can't talk now all of a sudden, and that it helps. If this message did resonate, please like and comment, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe to be notified when I post next, and I'll see you in my next reading.